Hi everyone, in this video, we will learn measurement and control of dissolved oxygen in a fermentation. Oxygen, although it's not added directly into the medium while you are preparing the medium, it's a very important component or ingredient in a fermentation as aerobic organisms require oxygen during a fermentation. Now the oxygen is introduced via sparger. But we are talking about here dissolved oxygen, the oxygen which gets dissolved in the fermentation medium or broth during a fermentation. Why would you monitor the dissolved oxygen concentration? Because in most aerobic fermentations, it is essential to ensure that the dissolved oxygen concentration does not fall below a specified minimal level because the organisms require the dissolved oxygen for the breakdown of carbohydrates and other ingredients. How would you monitor the dissolved oxygen concentration of a fermentation broth during a fermentation? You have done determination of dissolved oxygen using Winkler method in the BOD experiment in your practical classes, but we can't determine the dissolved oxygen using a titration or Winkler method during a fermentation. There are electrodes available for this purpose. And since 1970s, these oxygen electrodes are available for this monitoring. They monitor the dissolved oxygen concentration and they are steam sterilizable. You can even sterilize these electrodes via steam. These electrodes measure the partial pressure of the dissolved oxygen and not the dissolved oxygen concentration. And there's an equation as well, and the actual reading is normally expressed as percentage saturation with air at atmospheric pressure. So that the 100% dissolved oxygen means a partial pressure of approximately 160 mm mercury. Now, let's talk about these electrodes which are used to monitor the dissolved oxygen concentration. There are two electrodes, galvanic and polarographic. Let's see the galvanic electrodes first. In small fermenters up to 1 liters, that is the laboratory scale fermenters, galvanic electrodes are the commonest electrodes in the laboratory fermenters. They have a compact size. They have a lead anode and silver cathode and employ potassium hydroxide, chloride, bicarbonate, or acetate as an electrolyte. Now, the sensing tip of the electrode is made up of Teflon or polyethylene or polystyrene membrane, which allows passage of the gas phase so that an equilibrium is established between the gas phases inside and outside the electrode. Because of this, there's slow movement of oxygen across the electrode membrane. And because of the relatively slow movement of oxygen across the membrane, this type of electrode has a very slow response of the order of 60 seconds. So the electrode will not give you the reading immediately. You will get the reading, dissolved oxygen reading in 60 seconds, that also to achieve only 90% reading of the true value. So these electrodes are suitable for monitoring very slow changes in the oxygen concentration. And unfortunately, this type of electrode is also very sensitive to temperature fluctuations, so which should be compensated for by using a thermistor circuit. So if you are using a galvanic electrode in your fermenter to monitor the dissolved oxygen, you have to use thermistor circuit as well, because these electrodes are very sensitive to temperature fluctuations and that should be compensated. They have a very low cost, they are not expensive, but they have a limited life as well because the anode gets corroded. So if you see, this was the property that they are used in lab fermenters, and these are also the properties cathode, anode, and electrolyte. The slow response time, the slow diffusion, 60 seconds, and to achieve a 90% reading value, this is a disadvantage. The temperature, very sensitive to temperature fluctuation, is also a disadvantage. And they have a limited life and the anode gets corroded is also a disadvantage. But why are these electrodes chosen, or why are they used at the lab scale or in laboratory fermenters? Because of the two advantages, because of their compact size and cost is a big factor in fermentation. So because they are not expensive or they have a low cost, they are used. Let's see the polarographic electrodes now. They are more commonly used in the pilot and the actually industrial scale or production fermenters. They are bulkier than the galvanic electrodes, and they have silver anodes which are negatively polarized with respect to the reference cathodes of platinum or gold. So cathode is made up of either platinum or gold, and aqueous potassium chloride is used as the electrolyte. Response time, see the difference. The response time is 0.05 to 15 seconds. So this is the advantage, that as compared to the galvanic, that the polarographic electrodes give you the reading in from 0.05 to 15 seconds, and that also 95% of the true value. So, but there are some disadvantages as well. As compared to galvanic, they are bulkier and they are very costly, they are very expensive. And they may be 600% more expensive than the galvanic electrodes, but the maintenance costs are considerably lower, as only the membrane should need replacing. So that is the advantage. And these polarographic electrodes can be very precise, as they both may be pressure and temperature compensated. So advantages: fast response time, 95% reading, and maintenance costs are lower. And also they can be pressure and temperature compensated. Disadvantage: yes, they are very costly as compared to galvanic electrodes, and they are bulkier. This is the picture of galvanic and polarographic electrodes. This is from Principles of Fermentation Technology by Peter Stanbury, 2nd edition, this picture. And these electrodes, galvanic and polarographic, you will use these electrodes to monitor the dissolved oxygen. But how would you control the dissolved oxygen? So if it is necessary to increase the dissolved oxygen concentration of the medium of fermentation broth, that may be achieved by increasing the airflow rate or increasing the RPM speed of the impeller or agitator, or a combination of both processes. There is one more way. Another way is to increase the ratio of oxygen to nitrogen in the input gas using a valve while maintaining a constant gas flow rate, but it's very expensive, this method, and the cost of this technique normally restrict its use in the laboratories and pilot plants. So this was all about monitoring and control of dissolved oxygen during a fermentation.